All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving straight into a super practical step-by-step coding guide to essential HTML tags, and we'll even set up your modern developer workflow. Whether you're just starting out and looking to write your very first line of code, or you just want a really solid structured refresher on web fundamentals, this is your complete blueprint for the web. And look, it's so important to understand why this matters right out of the gate. No matter how incredibly advanced web applications get, whether they're built with React, Vue, or complex backend systems, every single one of them ultimately renders down to HTML. It is literally the inescapable, universal foundation of the internet, and mastering it gives you the absolute power to build anything online.
So here is our roadmap for today. 1. Welcome to Web HTML. 2. The HTML boilerplate. 3. Basic content and formatting. 4. Building forms and tables. And 5. Enhancing your learning workflow. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Welcome to Web HTML. Okay, so HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, was actually created way back in 1991 by Tim Berners-Lee. Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand right away that HTML is simply about structuring your information so that browsers, like Google Chrome or Safari, know exactly how to display it. Remember, it's a markup language, right? Not a processing or programming language. Think of HTML kind of like the blueprints and the wooden scaffolding of a house. It clearly dictates to the builders exactly where the walls go, where the front door sits, and where the windows belong. But it doesn't do active logic like actually turning the electrical lights on and off. You aren't writing complex algorithms here, you are building a highly structured, organized document. But hey, before a master builder actually starts laying those bricks, they need a clean, organized workbench, right? Before writing a single line of code, you need a streamlined environment like the VS Code text editor. And choosing a minimal theme, like Dainty or IO, ensures you focus strictly on your syntax. IO gives you these soft, totally distraction-free colors in various light and dark modes, while Dainty is just incredibly sleek and modern. Now, why does this matter so much for beginners? Well, excess visual noise literally causes coding errors. When your screen is cluttered, missing a tiny angle bracket or a forward slash is way too easy. A minimal workspace keeps that visual noise down, so your code, and more importantly, your mistakes, stand out crystal clear. Section 2, the HTML boilerplate. All right, our workspace is ready and optimized. It's time for our first real coding action, building the unshakable shell of our page. Following the one action per step rule, you've got to write these 4 foundational tags in this exact sequence. First up, the doctype HTML tag. This simply tells the browser to use modern HTML5 to render the document. This is vital because older versions of HTML had totally different rules, and without this tag, older browsers might just break your page layout. Then, you establish the HTML root element, which acts as the grand container for absolutely everything else. Inside that root, we drop our head tag for hidden metadata, and finally, we add the body tag. Oh, and here is a fantastic workflow tip. If you're using VS Code, you can literally just type an exclamation point on the very first line, hit enter, and boom! It generates this entire 4-step structure instantly. That relationship between those last 2 tags brilliantly illustrates the strict separation of powers in your document. Think of the head tag as the brain of your document. It's doing all the quiet thinking behind the scenes, handling SEO, and talking directly to the browser. It contains important meta information that the user never actually sees, like character encoding to make sure special symbols display correctly, and the title element, which is what dictates the text you see way up in your browser's tab. Meanwhile, the body tag? That is the physical manifestation of your site. It holds absolutely everything the user actually sees, clicks, reads, and interacts with on the page itself. Section 3. Basic content and formatting. With our boilerplate perfectly set, let's start dropping real content into that body tag. These 5 basic formatting tags are your primary building blocks, and they naturally group together to form a narrative. First, we use H1 through H6 for headings to create the literal skeleton of your page's content. Now, the H1 is the largest, and it's incredibly important because search engines like Google literally use your H1 tag to figure out the primary topic of your entire site. Next, we have the P tag for standard paragraphs of text. But when you're writing, pacing is everything, right? If you need to force text to the next line without actually starting a new paragraph, the BR tag acts as a line break. To draw a horizontal dividing line across the page to visually pace out different sections, you use the HR tag. And finally, you have the comment syntax. Think of comments as leaving invisible breadcrumbs for your future self. It is such an essential habit to use comments to explain exactly why you wrote a specific, tricky piece of code. Trust me, you don't want to confuse yourself when you revisit it 3 months later. Section 4. Building forms and tables. Up to this point in our explainer, our webpage has basically been a one-way street, just broadcasting text to a reader. Now, we're going to invite the user to actually participate. When you want to collect data from a user, you build a form. And this visual output is incredibly ubiquitous across the internet. Every single time you log into a banking app, buy a shirt online, or leave a comment on a blog, you are interacting with this exact layout. You have standard text boxes for names and emails, drop-down menus for selecting a state, and radio buttons for single-choice options like a shirt size. This is the crucial interactive shell that the user fills out right before a back-end script steps in to process all that information. Now, behind the scenes of that sleek interface is a very specific vocabulary. To build it, you place input tags directly inside your main form shell. Think of the form tag as a physical envelope, holding everything together. It dictates exactly where the data is going to be sent once it's sealed. Inside that envelope, typing input type equals text gives you a standard text box. Input type equals radio generates those single choice buttons. The select tag builds the entire framework of your drop-down menu. And finally, input type equals submit generates that critical button the user clicks to officially send that sealed envelope of collected data over to the server. Similarly, when you need to display highly structured data, an HTML table is the absolute perfect tool for creating clean, organized rows and columns. But it's important to understand exactly when to use this. Tables are strictly for structured tabular data. Think a university class roster, financial spreadsheets, or software pricing tiers. You absolutely do not use tables for designing the overall layout of your entire web page. That was a really common, flawed practice back in the 1990s, and we don't do that anymore. Today, tables are purely for presenting complex data points, so a user can efficiently read straight across columns like ID, name, college, and department. So the crucial point for building these successfully is to remember this exact nesting order. You put your table data cells, which are the TD tags, inside your table rows, which are the TR tags. And all of those specific rows go directly inside the main table tag. It's exactly like a set of neatly nested boxes. The big box is the table, the medium boxes inside are the rows, and the small boxes inside those are your individual data cells. It keeps everything perfectly aligned. And hey, a quick practical warning for beginners. Forgetting to properly close one of these specific nested boxes is hands down the absolute most common reason a beginner's table looks totally broken and distorted on the screen. Section 5. Enhancing your learning workflow. All right, you've mastered the essential tags, from your first boilerplate all the way to complex tables. Now we're going to look at turning your written notes into highly dynamic study material. This is where learning to code gets a massive, futuristic upgrade. By feeding your new coding notes into Google's Notebook LM, you can automatically generate a fully animated, narrated study explainer to review on the go. Let's walk through this carefully. First, you just go to Notebook LM and upload your raw text or HTML study document. Second, you open the Studio panel and explicitly select the video overview tool. Third, you customize it. You can set it to an explainer format, choose from over 80 distinct languages, and even type a prompt telling the AI to heavily focus on actionable, practical tips for a coding beginner. Finally, hit generate. In just 2 to 10 minutes, you have a fully custom animated study video ready to download. It is just an incredibly fast, highly engaging way to reinforce all that complex syntax you just learned. So there you have it. You now have the fundamental HTML blocks, from setting up a distraction-free workspace and the essential boilerplate, right through to interactive forms and nested tables. And you have the absolute best AI learning workflow at your fingertips to retain it all. You know exactly how to structure the web. You have the tools. So, what are you going to build today?